I see you let yourself go a little bit there from the haircut and shave I treated you to.
This is true. Just a little bit.
Why? The barber gave you a nice shave and cut. I mean, the cut is still, I see it there still, but I see the
Yeah.
shave is like, dude, you're looking dapper. You're looking clean. Now you're like, ugh. And see,
No,
that's what happens when you work remotely. You let your shit go.
I'm okay with that. I'll continue to work remotely for that.
Wow.
Hmm.
I love sequels
Do you?
if they're good.
Okay.
A lot of times when sequels are made, it's because of the success of the original, or that is maybe not the success, but a cult following after the
Yeah.
release. Case in point, John Wick, right? It did bad in the theaters, but then through DVD and multiple viewership on on cable or streaming, it got a great base. And then
Okay.
we got like four out of them or three sequels out of it, but they were done relatively back to back in a sense, like a few years here and there,
Hmm.
not like almost 40 years.
Very few have like a sequel that comes out that far
That
between.
correct.
Like Axel F, almost 30-year difference between the sequels.
True. But Axel F is actually really good in comparison to its sequels or the movies prior to Axel F. Can we say that's true?
Yeah, yeah. No, we both agreed to like Axel
Right.
F was good.
Then you had the Star Wars sequels that pretty much follows, or not follows, but it takes place after the prequels were done. And the prequels were done several years after the original trilogies were done.
Yeah.
And I still think the prequels are horrendous works of art because you have the guy who hasn't directed since the original Star Wars, and he's direct anyway. But here is similar, in my opinion. You may think differently, but Beetlejuice doesn't hold up as well, or doesn't hold a candle to the original. I saw the original again today.
We reviewed the original.
No, I know, but watching the sequel made me want to watch the original again.
Fair enough.
I think we dogged it, or I dogged it in our review, saying it was fast paced, blah, 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 like that. But then after watching it again, and I was paying a little more attention, the original Beetlejuice is actually really good.
Hmm.
On Rotten Tomatoes, 77% by the critics and 82% by the audience. How can
You,
I say this?
the juice is loose.
Welcome back to Tales of Two Bros. My name is Angel,
I'm a Don.
where we give you a review at least once a week. Spoiler alert. How was your theater experience?
A fair amount of people were there. There were some people that were dressed up for the part.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, the younger crowds that were dressed up for the most part, which kind of surprised me a little bit. But yeah, I would say half full.
No one dressed up, or I didn't notice anyone dressed up because we did get there right when the film started.
Okay.
No, we missed the previews, all that stuff. We just got there right on time. Theater was a full no, but it was a good amount. It was a good seating. It was on a
Hmm.
Thursday prior to the national release. Better than the Crows attendance. Let's just say that.
Fair enough.
In 2024, it just continues to prove as the summer or the year of sequels and remakes. I have a lot of issues with this sequel.
I couldn't tell.
What about you? Do you have any issues?
I mean, I'm gonna say like there are faux pas in the film. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Right from the get go, for some weird reason, it felt like obviously they're continuing from the first one, but it also felt like for some weird reason they were trying to pull references from the cartoon.
Oh, see, I never watched the cartoon, so I don't know.
And well, that's the thing. The cartoon, even though it's based on the movie,
Hmm.
is a completely elseworld situation. So instead
Well,
of
yeah, because
it was meant for
you
kids.
know, well, not just that, but Beetlejuice and
Lydia.
they're together, they're hanging out.
In the cartoon, they were best friends.
So, and here, obviously, that's not the case.
Yeah.
And they do a lot of references to the original, which I liked because there's several years, what, 30 years or so? Right.
Closing in on 40.
Right. That pay respects to the original, like the original Ghost made by Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin. You see that there are references in the play models of the house of the town and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You see
Mhm.
the car crash. into the water, them trying to, you see that they actually have bodies that they're trying to get out of the lake or the creek. We see it real quick, meaning that they tried to escape. But anyway, oh, and then Charles, they explain to why he's not in the movie, but
Yes.
he is in the movie.
They wrote off his character without writing him off. The character Charles is there, not the actor.
But he is.
That's not the actor's voice.
I understand that. But they have the image of his face. The claymation they have is him. So there's like all this stuff that is he's in it, but he's not in it.
True.
In that aspect.
But they're not going to give him that credit.
Right. But I'm saying, like, you're going to show his face. Like, the guy should get credit because he used his image and likeness in the movie. So he should get paid. Because they could have done other ways to do it without showing his face.
Probably. I mean, you know the rights more than I would.
If they don't give him credit or whatever, he can sue. We know why he's not in it, right?
He's currently registered as a sex offender.
Or a pedophile.
Jeffrey Jones.
I did, huh?
That was his name, Jeffrey Jones.
Oh, yes. But I do like the callback to the original in so many ways. But then they spin off into other aspects. Like, they didn't give explanation how he got out of that shrunken head at the end.
I don't think they need to. Like, he's literally a shapeshifter.
But still, it would be nice because that's how that's how it ended, right?
I mean, the better explanation would be like, how is there like a dozen shrunken heads versus just the one? In the first movie, there was only one guy with a shrunken head.
No, I understand that.
Yeah,
I understand that, but I'm just saying, like, how did he get out of it? Like, what did he catch a spell, or did he make a deal with the voodoo priest? I would just like to have known that. I didn't hear or see them talk about it. He just shows up. Lydia at the end has bangs, but when we see her, she's like the same person as we met her in the original.
Yeah, didn't change her hair, didn't change her
Nothing.
outfits.
But in the end of the movie, of the first one, she has bangs, got out of that goth look. She's like a schoolgirl, what have you, just regular.
I mean, if anything, it's like she sees the fact that she sees dead people. She makes it seem like more of a burden when.
Okay, but what does that have to do with the look?
No,
That's what I'm talking about.
We're talking about. I started talking about her character. So her character is different here, and where in the first movie, it didn't matter what ghost was in front of her, including Beetlejuice. She kind of embraced their style and look, whatever. Because she saw other ghosts in the first movie.
I understand that, but she still stayed gothic.
Yeah,
that approach.
I understand that part.
This is what I'm talking about.
You're just talking about the style. I'm talking about the style and the character. Like her character also changed mentally.
Okay, but the thing is, she was depressed when we met her. At the end of the movie, she was enlightened. She was happy. She was not depressed. She was mingling with people. She was not a loner. But here, again, we see in Beetlejuice, that she's back into that look. Maybe it's persona because of the show she's in. But the thing is, like, you would think they would show growth with her in that.
I mean, the only growth they really talked about is when she talked about her husband and how she met him and so forth like that. She didn't talk about how she met him, but like their life together, like for once.
No, I know, but I'm just saying that it's like the same look that we saw her in the original, and it's not changed. So I mean, like, I didn't expect Danny DeVito to be in it. I didn't expect that at all. And he had a little bit of the penguin in him, which was really kind of cool. I'm not sure when was the last time they worked together besides Batman Returns. I think Attack from Mars, Danny DeVito was in that. I'm not sure when the last time he and Tim Burton worked. So it's kind of cool to see that. As well as Michael Keaton and Danny DeVito in the sense of being in the same film. The love interest, the stalker, whatever you want to call her, the Monica Bellucci. She looks great, by the way. She looks amazing, but she was not needed.
No. You could have gotten rid of her character and the story would have flowed the same way, honestly.
Right. You didn't need William Dafoe, which he was awesome in, but still his character was not needed. Granted, I understand his purpose. He was kind of like the old lady in the first one, but he's an old guy in this one. Oh, you know that Michael Keaton's like 72? He looks great in the sense, like the way he moves, all that energy. It's just
his persona.
Great. My God, I was like, for 72, remember like 72, like people are like, oh, I can't get out of bed. This guy is working.
And you remember where Monica Bellucci came from? Like, what other movies should we seen her in?
Oh, we saw her in The Matrix. She's in, I think she's in that one with the wolf, with Mark Dacascos, Legends of the Wolf, that martial arts French movie. I think she's in that. I found one scene a little racist. Soul Train.
Really?
I did. You know why? Because there's only black people in there, besides the stars coming in, the cast. Pretty much everyone was black.
Had others. There was the Russians.
Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Come on. There were soldiers
And
bringing
there were
into the
some
Soul Train.
there were some like other people that weren't black that were on the train that were jumping on.
I didn't see them. Now maybe because I
Mhm.
couldn't tell because of the skin colors in a sense. But come on, that
I
was a
mean,
little. That was a. I mean, the whole
when
play on that was a little too long for one, and all they're dressed in the 70s.
yeah, to get
They're
on the
dressed in
Soul
the
Train.
70s,
So here's the thing. That was like I remember Soul Train around the time when I would watch Beetlejuice the cartoon because that was around the time like Saturday morning
right?
cartoons and like when
Right.
my cartoons were over, Soul Train would come on.
Okay. And
It just felt right on that in that sense. I will agree though, that's one of the faux pas of the movie that they would have certain sequences and scenes run a little bit long,
yeah,
especially the musical
the
parts.
yes, the wedding.
Absolutely. And I love the
That was
wedding. Don't
too
get me wrong. I had a good time. It did feel long.
right. I mean, like when because the lot they did here, what they did here was pretty much rehash of what was done in the original. A lot.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the statue work from Delia Dietz.
You're talking about the sculptures and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was at donated to
Well,
school, and I'm just
right. Of course.
saying.
Oh, even the house is different. They didn't have that little extension porch, what they have in the original. That's gone.
Yeah, but I thought that was just them building onto the house.
It's the same house, but it's not there anymore.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying. They didn't keep that consistent. What they should have done was like stick with one because there was so many stories going off on one on like the one with Astrid and the ghost boyfriend, and then you have Lydia and her new man. You have Beetlejuice finding out that the father died, and then he's coming trying to find his way back in.
yeah,
Like he
Dolores
forgot the whole
showing
thing,
up and hunting him down.
right? And then the history on him. I mean, granted, I like the history, but I don't think it wasn't needed. Like, it's kind of cool to have a mystery of the main character in some sense. You keep explaining because they explained a lot about him in the original, and then you explain to like why is this girl after him,
I mean, did they
and
explain a lot about him? He just had one scene where he gave like a quick elevator pitch about who he is. And
and
they
what in the second one,
in the first one.
it was good enough. You know what he's about.
Yeah, I'm that's all it is enough. It's not
I
like a
mean,
thorough
here he's a
detail.
grave robber. He's a grave robber. He finds her who's she's trying to take him for his soul. F that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it was needed. I mean, I did like the fact that he made like almost like a novella where he starts speaking Spanish.
That was fun.
It was funny, but again, too long, too long.
Mm.
And I mean, the musical stuff, like we cracked up. The whole movie theater cracked up when he starts singing "Wherever You Go, Wherever You
Oh
Go."
yeah, when he's playing the guitar.
Yes,
Yeah,
that was hysterical. That was hysterical.
and that was
But
short. That
again,
wasn't that long.
yeah, it was great. Like it would have been annoying if he did the whole song,
Mm.
But then at the wedding at the end, they reenact Deo from the original,
Yep.
where everyone's dancing and singing and changing turn or taking turns singing. They read it too long in the freaking wedding scene. As I was trying to explain before, you should have Beetlejuice when he finds out the father is dead. That he's like, oh yeah, my true love, Lydia.
Yeah.
He finds ways to go after her, or that he's trying to avoid Soul Taker. What's his name from Mortal Kombat? Your soul is mine.
Shang Tsung?
I was waiting for that too. I was waiting for that. That would have been perfect if you just take that line. You may have to pay, residuals for that, but it would have been just funny if he said, "Your soul is mine." But like if he's running from that and he had to find out somehow he had to get to Lydia,
Mhm.
or that he tries to take Astrid. If I can't get Lydia, I'll go after the daughter.
Okay.
That'd be cool. I was like, all right. I mean, it's kind of redundant, but I understand what you're going through here. To get to Lydia, you'll go through Astrid. The thing with the ghost kid, the murderer, that was predictable.
It was.
so
I kind
predictable.
of saw it coming.
You don't see the parents' faces?
Yeah, I'm like, they're ghosts.
Yeah, exactly. He's
Mhm.
dead. And it makes sense because you don't see him as she crashes through the fence and hits the tree. But the thing is, when she bangs her head, that's when the powers that be came in.
Yeah, near deaths or those who are like close to death or whatever, they can witness
Or
it.
weird,
Yeah.
like, as mentioned in the original.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, the realtor. Is that supposed to be the same character?
It's
From the
supposed to be
original?
the daughter from the original.
But it's the same name.
The daughter, yeah.
No, the mother
Yeah.
has the same name as the daughter.
Yeah.
They're both named Jane.
Yeah.
Shouldn't it be like the second or junior, since she's named right after her mother?
I mean, no one calls you Junior.
Because I'm not, because I'm the second. My freaking natural born father, fucking egomaniac, he called himself the first. And so I'm labeled as the second. It should be senior, junior, And if I had a kid and named him after me, he will be the third, which would then makes me the second. That's how it works.
Yeah, but that's more like what's it, prefix? Not prefix, suffix.
No, you missed a point. But he named himself the first, right? After I was born, he's Angel Alicea the first. It's not like that. It's Angel Alicea the senior
No,
or senior.
I get that. I'm talking about Jane.
Okay, but where's Junior and she's senior? Because there are females named like that.
Yeah, but like if they're taking on the same name and the suffix is junior, if I'm a full grown adult being a realtor, I'm not going to say call me Junior.
They shouldn't have the same name Jane. That's all I'm saying. Give her a different name. Call him Samantha.
Mhm.
Something like, whatever.
Did you catch the dog?
The dog.
The image of the dog when they're doing the flashback images during the wedding sequence?
What, Frankenweenie?
I thought it was Frankenweenie too. I was like, is that the Frankenweenie?
Well, I don't know because I don't remember. I just took a guess because I didn't. I was getting tired by that time. The wedding scene, it was just like because I mean the thing is he's wearing the same suit. She's wearing the same dress as from before. The husband or the fiance, I like Justin Theroux. He's a great actor, but he was just not well placed here, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then the mother, what's her name again?
Catherine O'Hare.
No, not the actress. I'm talking about the character.
Which mother?
There's only one mother.
I mean, technically, Lydia Dietz is the mother to Astrid, and then there's Delia Dietz.
Oh, that's true. Okay, fine. Yeah, you're right. All right. Delia. Oh, I'm dead.
Well, I mean,
So,
she was in denial about it for a good portion.
So, like a little bit. And then, William Dafoe's character is like, all right, you're coming with me. Okay. I mean, I guess she accepted her fate. That's what it is. But it was just like, I don't know. It was just like a closing of the book. I don't think it's going to be a Beetlejuice.
I mean, you jinxed it.
I said it 3 times. But I don't think so because the way it ended, it could lead to that. But are we going to wait another 35 years?
I mean, I don't think Michael Keaton could wait another 35 years.
Well, it doesn't really matter. Anyone could be Beetlejuice because he's a shapeshifter, like you said.
Yeah, but can anybody do his role? He's iconic. No. Okay, talking about the highlight of the movie, it's Michael Keaton. He stole the show.
Definitely, yes. That's the thing. Like, if you want to see it, you want to see it because of him.
Absolutely.
I love his performance in the original. Yes, this is good here.
Yeah, he still steals the show here.
Of course. No, of course. But the thing is, it's not the same flair we had in the first one.
That's why I said it kind of feels a little bit like the cartoon in some ways. Because the cartoon is dialed down, a little bit more color to it, and not as dark. Like, this one doesn't feel as dark as the original.
No.
There are some moments.
Even though they advertise it as a dark and spooky thing, I was like, no, it's a comedy. It's a comedy.
Yeah. I mean, there are just some moments, like when they're talking about the parents were killed, the baby popping out and stuff like that. But
that was gross. That was gross.
Both times.
Yes. That was gross. The last scene, the dream sequence, what have you. Why did I think of The Fly?
Because that's exactly happened in The Fly.
The Fly. Okay, thank you. All right, because I was like, holy crap.
Yeah,
I was thinking, then it eats a fly. Then it's chasing a fly.
Yeah.
That baby was just like the eyes. It's like it was funny, but also disturbing.
Absolutely,
most definitely. Now, even though I'm kind of ragging on it, I mean, granted, maybe if I let it marinate, I'll appreciate it some more. But it just felt too close to the original. Not that much originality and too many stories happening.
Agreed.
And in the original, there's only really 3 stories. What's happening with the family, the couple that died, what they're going through. Lydia's issue with her dealing with her parents and the new life, and then meeting the ghosts.
He's the joining factor.
Well, also Lydia, in the sense like she can see the living and the dead. So it's all connected in that aspect.
And speak of the original, the whole reason Dolores was brought in is a singular reference to the original movie when he pulls out the ring to try and marry Lydia. And
she meant nothing to me.
Exactly. And that was Dolores' ring finger.
But he threw it to the floor. Exactly. It wasn't in the box.
No, the box was put in Lost and Found.
Right, but the ring finger was thrown.
I understand that, yeah.
In the fire pit behind the priest. So she should still have a missing finger,
There's a
right?
yeah. It was
Right.
the finger looked more decayed than anything else, but still,
Dolores is the same as Nightmare on Christmas. Is that was that Tim Burton's movie
yeah.
Nightmare
Nightmare
Before
Before
Christmas?
Christmas.
The female in it has the same stitching.
I mean, there's a lot of references to all his other
Of
projects.
course, but I'm
Hmm.
just saying, it's just like, come on, it's like too close. I mean, we know that Tim Burton has a little demented side to him or
Hmm.
dark side in that aspect. And it works great for Batman Returns and the original Beetlejuice and Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
Hmm.
No, I know that, like the finger, and that's cool that they used that as an influence. Like, who was that girl? But I just think it could have been done differently. Like, just focus on one story. Just do that. Just give that story that he's trying to run away from her, like constantly, or he's going after Lydia constantly, or Astrid, either or,
So
one
I
or the other.
originally thought, like, as I started watching it, I didn't think that Astrid was going to go for a boyfriend kind of situation storyline.
Mm-hmm,
I thought like
mm-hmm.
Dolores would show up, figure out that Beetlejuice was going after Winona or
Right, and she
Lydia,
got jealous.
and try to use bait. Can't get to Lydia, get to Astrid. That kind of situation
Well,
overall.
for Dolores,
Yes, and because I thought Dolores was going to become more of a threat of a character.
right,
You
and
know,
she wasn't.
yeah,
They made her out to seem like that, but really, what did she do?
she didn't.
All she does was
She
all she did
killed
was
off
so
some
soft.
side characters. That's all she did.
Yeah,
And then literally at the end, she pops up. He puts a shirt on the other dude. I heart Dolores, and they get eaten up by a sandworm. In the
like the first one.
exactly, and then they just get dusted like that. I mean, it's very lackluster for a character that had potential.
No, exactly. I mean, like the thing is, either Dolores or Beetlejuice, they're going after Lydia or Astrid, and there's a threat there, and so like the enemy of my enemy is my friend. You can make an adventure in that aspect, but they didn't. They just make this project, just let's get it done with, and we'll just try to fix it in editing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
was
I like Jenna Ortega's performance. I think she
no,
was.
she no,
I think she's
she kind of
good.
reminded me. She kind of reminded me of Wednesday a little bit.
I mean, it's hard to separate the two. She does a good role of it, but she does it.
No,
She's clearly not Wednesday. She's just the person who just doesn't want to be there because
no,
she
I know, I
doesn't
understand.
believe. Yeah,
I understand, but there are some moments like the dance sequence at the end. She did some of her Wednesday moves.
yeah.
Granted, it's not hard to look at Jenna Ortega. She's a gorgeous woman. Catherine O'Hare, she looks great. She looks a lot better here than she did in Schitt's Creek. She looked like a mess in Schitt's Creek, that show.
I mean, she was supposed to be a mess in Schitt's Creek.
I know, but she was an actress and, used to take care of herself, but she just,
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, how do you feel about this movie overall in the sense, waiting so long of a sequel of original that's so iconic?
I will say this: if I saw it on TV, I would probably feel better about it.
So you're saying
if you go in
is
with
this
low
worth streaming?
expectation, no, just go in with low expectations.
I did for The Crow, and I was still pissed.
But hear me out. Hear me out. Lower your expectations. Acknowledge the fact that it's not the same film. And just go in for whatever good times you're going to get. I still laughed at a couple moments. I
Oh,
still
me
have some good
too.
moments. It's just not the same film.
Right.
And like I said, even though there weren't like hard references to the cartoon, it kind of made me think of the cartoon more often than it did the actual original movie.
Okay.
And just like the colors, the vibrancy, the fact that they stayed in the afterlife, which they started calling it in Neither World, which they only called it in Neither World in the cartoon. They didn't even do that in the movie of the original.
Okay.
So those things were kind of like they were using that as a basis. I thought maybe at one point Beetlejuice would just end up becoming friends with Lydia. As I was
That's what
watching
I
it.
thought. Yeah, I mean, something like that, like closure in that aspect.
Yeah, he's like, I'm no longer tied to Dolores. I don't need you anymore. So that kind of is a situation.
Right, but they left it in the way they ended it.
He's still the bad guy.
He's still the bad guy. He's still going to haunt her. But the thing is, it should have been like longer because it had aspects of like, I want to say like it.
Yeah.
Remember when they
could have played on that a little bit more to make it more serious.
Right. It just did a little bit of that where she's seeing him, but she starts seeing him recently in the sense of when her father died.
Yeah.
Or that time. And they should have played more in the sense that she sees ghosts. We only see references once in the bathroom.
Yes.
Even though like you can use that premise that she asks ghosts to haunt these houses to help with her, get the show going.
Or put her in the therapy chair. Supposedly she's in therapy. Why don't we get a moment where she's in therapy? Talk about why is it now an issue that she's seeing ghosts when it wasn't before?
Oh no, that she probably was seeing ghosts, but why is she seeing Beetlejuice?
Both, because
Well, no,
of the fact that
she already knew.
she's taking the pills.
Yeah, I understand that, but she had no problem seeing that lady with a thing in her head.
That was before she took the pill.
Right, but she didn't have no problem. She said, "Shut up." Like she said it by name. Like they had a
Yes.
relationship.
Well, so here's the thing. They didn't clarify if the reason she's taking the pills is solely because of him or because the fact that she's seeing ghosts all the time. Granted, she built a show around it, but like,
But still, but she shouldn't be taking the medicine.
I'm not saying no to that.
No. But that's the thing. Like the fiance guy comes in and says, "No, you can't be taking this." So
And
the
then he
thing
takes it
is
with
like,
her.
What was the medicine for again?
It's to help her stop seeing the ghosts.
Okay, I don't know. It didn't really make no sense in that
Yeah.
aspect. I just it's just like maybe she took it. I thought it was more like for anxiety because she had a panic attack where she thought she saw him in the audience.
No, he says something along you shouldn't take this because you know it clouds your gift or something like that. Like so, I took it as her stopping her from seeing the ghosts.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Do you have a favorite moment?
I mean, we kind of talk a little bit about some of those moments. The first moment with the baby, as gross as it is, actually a pretty good moment. We talked about him playing the guitar. The wedding, as long as it was a fun moment, and the dream sequence at the end. And he wakes up in the bed. That's actually a good call out.
Well, call out for what?
Actually, no, it's not a good call out because I'm thinking of other horror films where they do that.
Oh, right.
But it wasn't a Tim Burton film that I can remember.
No, exactly. One of my favorite parts was pretty much everything that he was in, of course. But yes, when he's singing, that song on the guitar, it just caught us off guard, and it was just so funny, and it made sense because
he's trying to win her over.
Well, no, because he's just saying like he's kind of stalking her, like I'm stalking you. But it would have been funny if it was either that song, which was good, or the Police song. Every step you take, every move you make, I'll be watching you.
True.
Either or. But I guess that one is a little more deeper, or a little more not deeper, but truthful in a way. It's like crazy, stalker thing, which he is.
I kind of like Bob too.
Yes, I was going to say Bob. He's one of my favorite characters. He kind of reminded me of Beaker from the Muppets.
Yes.
With the eyes and kind of
especially when he's like sweating.
Right, he's like trying to make words, but he can't because his mouth is shut. Was that same Bob from the original?
So I don't know if it's the same Bob from the original. In the cartoon, there is a character called I Am Smallhead that is they built the same way. And it's like is like his neighbor.
I never saw the cartoon, which is so funny.
They had a few seasons.
Yeah, I think I didn't want to watch it because I was like, why are they friends? Why is Lydia and Beetlejuice friends? It makes no sense. So I was like, I'm not going to watch it.
It's actually pretty funny.
No, I bet it is.
For example, it's not a direct tie-in, but like the French guy who dies.
The French guy who dies.
The artist fell down a manhole.
Oh, yes. Why was he there?
I think he was a reference to the cartoon because there is a French skeleton that is also one of the main characters in the cartoon.
Does he have a bump in his head?
No, he's a full-on skeleton. But he has like one of those like French mustaches and he has a heavy accent. He wasn't he wasn't an artist, but he was a physical trainer. he was he's always training and working out, but he has no muscles.
Right. So, but because I guess he was a character, they focus on him for a while,
and then he just disappears,
just like that girl, the pianist on The Crow.
No, exactly.
But
that's what I'm saying. Like my mind went to that. So that if that's supposed to be like an Easter egg towards the cartoon, success. And it made me think of the cartoon because the character had a heavy French accent.
All right. Fair enough. Okay.
His name was like Jacques or something like that.
What they say here in the credits. Do you see the French guy's name?
It's not Le Tigre, is it? No.
I don't know. I don't know his name. Oh, do you know that Brad Pitt was one of the producers?
No idea.
Was in the credits.
He might have been Le Tigre. I don't know.
Probably, yeah. They don't have his face. Is there a weak moment or faux pas?
We talked about the faux pas. Some jokes would run too long.
Well,
and
not just jokes, but scenes in
general.
And multiple stories going off at once. It was just way
unnecessary.
Yes. And to me, the biggest faux pas was that the Soul Train. I think it was just overkill, and I found it a little racist. I don't know. I just did. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm overlooking it. But I just found it a little racist.
You didn't care about that stuff. You don't see color. The black and white sequence was good.
His backstory.
Yeah.
Yes and no.
It's not necessary, but was fun.
It's not necessary. I just like the part that he just goes into a different language.
Yes.
He makes it a novella. That I liked. What I don't like about it is that we give a stamp, a timestamp of how old he is.
Yes.
In
I
the
mean, people
original,
gauge
no.
that from the original,
Yeah, but
but
he's a few hundred years, a century old. Like you don't know exactly how
yeah,
old he is. And when you put a timestamp on like that, then you label him in that way. I just like the aspect of him being more or
ambiguous.
having us ambiguous, more of us guessing.
It's
I
like the
like that
Joker.
aspect. Right. There's multiple choices. It could be this or that. We don't know for
Hmm.
sure. He's deranged nonetheless. Like it would have been kind of cool if he was telling a story. He was already Beetlejuice.
And
He's
they
already
met
dead.
Dolores.
He met Dolores, and he's like, "Whoa!" Because she can soul suck in the living and in the dead. It
True.
doesn't matter. That would have been a better because then we're still guessing his age. He could have been dressed differently, but
Yeah.
he could have been still been dead. Now on Rotten Tomatoes, you have a score by the critics, 77%, 82% by the audience. Where do you agree with more?
I'll give it like a 79.
So you're in between.
Yeah.
I'm with more of the critics, maybe 75, so a little bit lower.
Okay.
I just think that this sequel missed the mark in so many ways. Yes, was it great to see Michael Keaton back as a character? Hell yeah. That will always be like him seeing him as Batman. We saw him in Batman in The Flash. Crappy movie, excellent performance by him.
Absolutely. And
This movie was a mess, but excellent performance by him.
exactly. So we're going on the record. No matter what we say about the movie, he still holds the title as like the best part of the movie.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
most definitely. Is this worth the watch?
With an asterisk.
With Astrid?
No. Well, yeah, if I was with Astrid, absolutely. No, an asterisk. So,
I
like,
know,
under
I
normal,
understand.
it's basically Halloween film night with friends, drinking, having fun,
Well, yeah, it is a Halloween movie because they're getting married on Halloween. They're kids trick or treating. This
exactly.
is a Halloween movie.
Stealing
Yes,
the theme from The Crow.
exactly.
But if you
Yeah.
want to dress up with friends and like do like a Rocky Horror kind of thing and go out, have fun watching the movie, make a marathon of Beetlejuice, then yeah, sure. Other than that, stick with the
Wait,
first one.
how would you do a marathon? What? Watch the movie, watch the cartoon, then watch the sequel?
Watch the first one and then this one. That's easily like what 4 hours worth of time.
It's not really a marathon, but okay.
I mean, you could also watch the cartoons, like a couple episodes. But I'm just saying, it's like 60
How many
episodes for the
seasons are there in
cartoon.
this?
I want to say it's like 3 seasons for the cartoon.
I would say 4.
Even though you never watched it, you're gonna just throw a number out there and be like, it's 4
Yeah.
seasons long.
If I'm right, you're gonna hate it again. Is it 4 seasons?
Hold on, I'm double checking this right now. God. Okay. So,
How many seasons, bro? How many seasons?
4 seasons.
I love it when you hate it when I do that.
It aired
I
from
never saw one episode, but I know there's 4 seasons, and you watched it and you don't know.
Listen, it was a long time ago. It was from 89 to 91.
I would say it's worth a watch, but you can also wait for streaming.
Oh, yeah, no. So there's a difference between, is it worth the theater versus,
Yeah.
stream.
Is it worth the own? No.
I can do without, honestly, truthfully.
Yeah. Watching the original again makes me appreciate the original. I appreciate the pace even better now, even more. The characters are actually well developed, And from what I saw it not recently, but for a review, I guess my mind was somewhere else when I was watching it at that time because I watched it again. I was like, wow, this is a really damn good movie. Or maybe I'm getting confused with Batman because I think Batman was a little fast paced. I can't remember right now.
You should have watched our review.
I need to watch our review so I can remember what I said. If they do another one, I would watch it again though. And to see Michael Keaton again reprise that role. And again, he's in his 70s. He can't wait any much longer.
So, setting aside how you feel about this movie, if they do a third one, you'll watch it just solely for Michael Keaton.
Of course. And see if they fix what they messed up here.
You know what I'm wondering now?
What?
This is totally a random thought. Will they bring back the Beetlejuice cosplayers at like it used to be Universal? Remember when they had that?
Of course they will. Of course they will.
Like they were like middle of the day, not even Halloween time. You would have that.
Why not?
I mean, it stopped after a while. And then,
well, of course, because it gets redundant, whatever, blah blah blah. Granted, also here his belly wasn't as big as it was in the first one.
True, but I don't think anybody cared.
No, I'm just saying though, in the sense like he had a belly stuff thing, whatever, to make him look out of
Hmm.
shape with the tight clothes. Here, it didn't really happen that much. It was like you couldn't
Yeah.
really it looked very just regular.
And funny enough, in the cartoon, he had a huge belly too.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. In the original, he did.
Yeah.
So hello, here he did it. That's okay. Maybe he's working out in the afterlife. I don't know.
Mm.
All right, guys, that is our review of Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. Have you seen it? What was your favorite moment? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram. Until next time, will be the next time. I'm Angel.
I'm a Don.
Love you, bro.
Love you too.
Step right up, step right in. I don't know. I can't remember any taglines from this movie.
Should have remembered the dream sequence.
Guess so.